Hello, today's video is about zero force members in a truss. Zero force members are structural members that carry no force. The internal force in these members equals to zero. These members may provide stability or be useful if the loading changes. We can easily determine these members by inspecting the truss or using the static equilibrium equations. Case number 1. If a joint has only two non-collinear members and there is no external load or support reaction applied to this joint, then the both jointed members are zero force members. We can easily assure these results by applying the static equilibrium equations to the joints. Now we will see an example to explain this case. The problem says determine the zero force members in the following truss. This is the truss. And as we can see, according to the rule number 1, both forces at the member DC and the DE equals to 0. We will make sure of this answer using the static equilibrium equation, so we will draw the free body diagram for the joint D. And we will write the sum of the forces at the y direction equals to 0. And as you see, the only force acting at the y direction is the force at the member DE. And its component at the y direction equals to the force at the member DE multiplied with the sine of this angle. Solving this equation, we will see that the force at DE equals to 0. We will continue writing the sum of the forces at the x direction equals to 0. The forces that act on the x direction are the force at the member DE and the force at the member DC. So we will write minus the force at the member DC and minus the force at the member DE multiplied with cosine this angle, and this is the x component of the force DE. And also solving this equation, we will see that the force at the member DC equals to 0. Now let's talk about the case number 2. If three members from a truss, joint for which two of them are collinear and there is no external load or reaction at that joint, then the third non-collinear member is a zero force member. We will see an example. Look at this truss. As you see, we have here at the joint F two collinear members. Then according to this rule, this member is a zero force member. Let's see a final example. This is the truss, and we have to determine which are the zero force members. According to rule number 1, then the forces at ED and EF equals to 0. Then, also according to rule number 1, the both members DF and DC become zero force members. And that's all. See you at the next video.